In 1955, Gabriel García Márquez wrote one of the most haunting pieces of magical realism ever published. In a small, rain-soaked coastal village, an ancient man with giant tattered wings falls from the sky and into the lives of ordinary people. What begins as a moment of wonder soon unravels into an unsettling portrait of human nature, which makes this a story about faith, doubt, exploitation, and the fragile boundary between the earthly and the divine. A very old man with enormous wings remains one of the most provocative and enduring works of short fiction. The story's power comes not only from the presence of a winged old man, but from how the villagers and readers alike struggle to understand him. Through its characters, themes, and rich symbolism, the story becomes a meditation on human nature, its capacity for cruelty, its hunger for spectacle, and its longing for meaning in a world that rarely provides any clear answers. The titular figure is at once both extraordinary and profoundly ordinary. His wings suggest something divine, yet everything else about him contradicts the expectation of angelic grandeur. He is dirty, sickly, nearly toothless, and so frail that he cannot defend himself. Who or what the old man is, we never truly come to find out, and this ambiguity is central to the story. His wings invite the possibility of a miracle, but his physical suffering makes him seem painfully human. The silence of the old man is crucial. Instead of proclaiming wisdom or offering prophecies, he communicates only in incomprehensible dialects, which serves to protect his mystery and denies the villagers the comfort of certainty. His patience in the face of abuse, being poked with sticks, locked in a chicken coop, and paraded for money, positions him as a Christ-like figure, a sufferer who endures humiliation without the need for retaliation. Pelayo and Elisenda represent ordinary people who are confronted with the extraordinary. Their reaction does not consist of awe, but exhaustion and practicality. Pelayo initially fears the old man, while Elisenda quickly sees the economic potential of putting him on display. The couple's motivations are not malicious. Rather, they reflect the human tendency to prioritize survival and comfort over empathy. Their decision to charge admission ultimately transforms the old man into a commodity, illustrating how easily the miraculous can be exploited for personal gain. As their wealth grows, their connection to the old man becomes increasingly detached. Elisenda's final sight of him flying away is accompanied not by wonder, but relief, as though she has rid herself of a burdensome creature. Her reaction contrasts sharply with the richness of the moment, underscoring how spiritual experiences can be lost on those who refuse to see them. As the local priest, Father Gonzaga embodies institutional religion. His suspicion of the old man, measuring his wings against church doctrine and sending inquiries to the Vatican, reveals how rigid systems often fail to recognize spiritual truth. Instead of responding with compassion, he turns to bureaucracy and official validation, missing out on the possibility of grace unfolding before him. His character critiques how organized religion can become disconnected from authentic encounters with the divine. One of the more powerful themes in the story concerns how miracles tend to defy human expectations. The townspeople want certainty. They want a clear sign, a proclamation, even a spectacle. The old man provides nothing among these. His divinity, if discernible, appears in a form so humble and inconvenient that most people fail to recognize it. The story suggests that if the sacred appears in our world, it may not come in shining robe, but in the guise of suffering, fragility, and silence. The fascination of the villagers quickly turns into exploitation. They treat the old man as entertainment, poking him to make him move, throwing food at him, and shouting as though he were an animal. When a spider woman arrives, more sensational and more eager to share her story, she becomes the superior attraction. Rather than seeking meaning, the villagers choose amusement. This theme echoes modern society's appetite for novelty and spectacle, often at the cost of compassion. Throughout the course of the story, the boundary between the mundane and the extraordinary is blurred. The old man has landed in a muddy courtyard during a rainstorm. Crabs are crawling everywhere, and the household is chaotic and tired. The miraculous interrupts daily life without warning, yet the characters quickly absorb it into the routines of daily survival. The story implies that wonders may exist all around us, but everyday concerns often prevent us from noticing. The wings are the story's central symbol, representing both the possibility of transcendence and the burden of otherness. The old mans are majestic in size, yet they are damaged in appearance. This duality reflects the tension between what is divine and what is human. Wings typically signify freedom, yet for the old man they become a source of suffering, trapping him within the gaze of the villagers. The Spider Woman functions as a symbolic counterpoint to the old man. Her story is simple, moralistic, and easy to understand. She's exactly what the villagers prefer. She represents the kind of spiritual narrative people gravitate toward: the clear, the tidy, and the comforting. By contrast, it is the old man who represents the mysterious ambiguity of genuine wonder. The chicken coop symbolizes confinement, humiliation, and the villagers' inability to see the miraculous, except through the lens of the ordinary. By locking the old man inside, Pelayo and Elisenda reduce a potentially divine being to the status of livestock, stripping him of dignity by placing him literally among the chickens. The coop becomes a physical manifestation of fear and misunderstanding. Because the villagers cannot categorize him, they imprison him. The cramped and dirty conditions emphasize how the extraordinary can be degraded when it does not fit with human expectations. The coop further represents society's instinct to control what it fears or cannot explain, placing the unfamiliar behind barriers rather than confronting its deeper meaning. Ultimately, the chicken coop stands as a reminder that miracles can be caged, not by physical walls, but by the limits of human understanding. After years of suffering, waiting, and silent endurance, the old man with wings finally lifts himself into the sky. His departure is quiet, almost unnoticed, as though the miracle has grown tired of being misunderstood. Elisenda watches from her window, relieved, not realizing that something extraordinary has slipped out of her life forever. This is the tragedy Marquez leaves us with. The feeling that the divine may walk among us, yet we are too distracted, too fearful, or too practical to recognize it. A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings is not just a tale of magical realism, it is a mirror held up to humanity, asking whether we would treat a miracle any better than the villagers have. And perhaps, as the old man disappears into the distant clouds, the story whispers a final question. If the wondrous arrived at your doorstep today, would you know it if you saw it? Please remember that Book Time Learning is dedicated to the study of writing and literature. If this video has been helpful or enjoyable in any way, please consider clicking the like button and/or subscribing. And thank you for watching.